Hey guys, Merchant again. So we've got our server up and running. We've taken a look at some of the basics inside of the server. And now you're saying to yourself, I really want to put some plugins in. Start making my server cooler. Well, let's do that. And to get started, in my humble opinion, the first thing you should probably get is some sort of basic commands plugin. The one that I use is called Essentials, and it gives you a lot of basic commands that you might need. So in order to find plugins, first we're going to go to Bukkit Dev. This is the best place to find your Bukkit plugins. You can go right to this Bukkit plugins page and see all the new ones that are coming out, and then you can search here for stuff. And keep in mind, their search bar isn't the greatest, and if you can't find something in here, you may want to go back to Google and just try a different search. You see with Essentials, it actually didn't show it. Let's try searching for projects only. Search. There we go. See, sometimes you got to change that search bar around. So we got Essentials here for 1.52. I just saw there's an Essentials Plus thing. That's probably just an add-on plugin. Probably not a new version. They do have some dev builds and stuff if you're trying to get one for 1.6.2 instead of 1.5. But for the one we're doing, we're going to go with this one here. Okay, it's for the right version, and this file is actually a zip, so we're going to need to download it. Wait for it to finish here. It's rather large. It's got a couple different plugins in it. We're going to use probably all of them. We'll take a look. There's our zip file. You can see I have a lot of downloads here. Sorry, I should have cleaned up my download folder. And we go to Essentials. Yeah, that's the one we just downloaded. Alright. And here we have quite a few different plugins, so we're just going to grab all of them. Kit. And we are over in plugins, so we'll drop them in here. Alright. And what we got here is we got our basic essentials. We got an anti-build thing. Chat. Yeah, we'll probably use Essentials Chat, and I'll show you how to format that in another video, because that's a little more, that's kind of complicated, depending on how involved you want your chat to be. Essentials Protect and Essentials Spawn. So you're probably going to need most of these. So, let's go ahead and start up our server. You see that all the Essentials plugins started up. Take a look at plugins. We now have a couple new folders here, including Essentials. Let's go ahead and, before we go into game or anything, look at any commands, let's go ahead and look at the configs. You got your folder. It's going to hold warps that you save. And here's your config file. Most of the default settings can be left as they are. Op color, this is a red, dark red color. It's one of the best colors for your ops. Nickname prefix, so that little symbol is going to show before anybody who's using a nickname in the game when they change their player name to some other name. Change display name. Disable this if you have any other plugin that modifies the display name of a user. So if you have another plugin that's supposed to change the name in chat and it's not working correct, you may want to turn this to false. Let's see. This option is available. The tab list will be updated with the display name. So you can unmark that, and then that'll be the same as the display name. That might be useful if you're having problems with your the tab player list not looking correct. This is all sort of different add prefix, suffix, false or true. This is to do with if this is if Essentials chat is not being used. So we're going to use Essentials chat, so we're just going to leave that alone. This is a delay in seconds required between using teleports. So if you don't want people teleporting too often, you put in like 100-second delay or something. You know, make them wait a minute. Delay in seconds before an actual teleport delay. So they use the teleport command, and then I believe this would delay. So if you had 1 second, it would take 1 second for them to be able to teleport once they've used the command. But according to this, if you get hit within that time, the teleport doesn't happen. So keeps people from teleporting away from combat and stuff. Delay in seconds, player. Okay, so teleport invulnerability. So once you teleport, give you 4 seconds to be invincible, so nobody can mess with you if you've just teleported in. This is a delay between heal attempts, so if you're allowing them to use the heal command, I guess it is, you gotta wait 60 seconds. So you're not healing and healing and healing. But personally, I don't give my players heal ability. They want to heal, they have to eat food, not be hungry, and then they'll heal up. Item spawn blacklist. If there are certain items you don't want people to be allowed to give themselves or to have using the command /I for item or /give, you can blacklist it here. It would appear that you just do like it says up there. You do that, I think. That's what it looks like. Alright. Okay, this is for adding some permissions and whatnot. But you can do all that permission stuff through your permissions plugin. Probably a better idea. Don't give out certain permissions and turn things on unless you're sure that's what you want to do. You may find yourself in a heap of trouble if certain people get a hold of things you don't want them to have. Permission-based item spawn. So that would mean that you can make individual permissions for spawning certain items. On limit, you want to keep this low, because if you set it real high, then they can, if they have the spawn certain mob command, they'll spawn 1,000,000 mobs, and then your server will lag like insanely. So careful on that. Notify users when using lightning. So overridden commands. So if you don't want anybody to use like the God command, you turn that on. Pretty sure that would be for blocking commands. Or wait a minute, hold on, I'm sorry. What's the difference between overridden and disabled? Let's see, disabled commands here will prevent Essentials from handling the command. This will not affect command conflicts. Okay, so basically I guess that's what it means is overridden commands. You override a command, Essentials will take care of it. Right, so if other plugins have like the command God, then just make sure that Essentials is the one that does that command. It's for conflicts between plugins, which happens frequently if you get a lot of plugins going, which I do myself. It's all pretty basic stuff. And there's obviously there's instructions here. Social spy enabled. These commands will be shown. Okay. If you do not wish to use a permission system, which we're going to, you can define a list of player perms below. So this will not reflect this. I don't want to just read the instructions to you guys. That's if you're not using permissions, which you really should. This is about kits, about giving out kit items to people. They have some stuff in here, like if Notch comes on the server, he gets special stuff, apparently. Probably should remove that. I've never been a big fan of Notch. Enabled signs. If you want to give people signs to sell things, buy things, trade things, you just turn them on here. Your backup, you can change how often it backs up your world files and stuff, but you probably don't want to mess with that. Per world permission. So if you don't want people to warp to certain worlds without having the permission to get to that world, then you set that to true. Although I'm not sure exactly what the permission is once you set that to give it them the permission. You'd have to look that up in the other essentials documentations. Sort output. This is about formatting the list, I do believe. Here's your auto AFK, so when people are not moving for a certain amount of time, they're going to go AFK. Put it to 0 if you want it to be infinite. I'm sorry, -1, not 0. And it says it right up here. So really, let's go through the rest of these real quick, because you can see that they're all written out here, and they can give you better instructions even than I can. Auto AFK kick. So if you do want people to be kicked after they've been AFK for too long, and if you're sitting there feeling like you're feeling dumb because you don't even know what AFK stands for, that means away from keyboard. So if people aren't playing for a long period of time. This one's interesting. If they're AFK, you can have them freeze, and then other players and monsters can't push them out of AFK mode, and they can't get killed or anything like that. So, but I found that it's a little glitchy and weird. I don't know. Maybe they fixed that, but it was a little weird when I tried to use it. Players seemed bothered by it. Disable auto item pickup while AFK. So basically, if they're AFK and somebody drops an item in front of them, they won't pick it up automatically. And it probably keeps, according to this, it says something about idling and mob traps, so it's probably keeps them from doing some kind of sort of slight cheat and grinding for getting lots of XP without working too hard. Okay, all AFK stuff. Death messages. If you don't want death messages, you can turn them off. Most people enjoy those, so it's probably not something you want to turn off. If you want no God mode and things like the Nether or the End, you can put them in there. World teleport permissions again. The other one was warp, so these are teleport permissions based on world. Default stack size. Repair enchants. Do you want people to and there's just a ton of stuff here, guys. I'm sorry this takes so long, and you're probably thinking this is useless information, but I thought I'd go through it just for a little bit. And for those of you starting up your first server, never done anything yet, Essentials is damn good to have. It really is. Excuse my language. Max fly speed, change that. up to 1. It's already set to 0.8, so it's pretty close to 1 already. Walk speed. If you want to slow people down, you can do that. But people probably just complain if you'd slow them down. Okay, right here you can set your bed at daytime if you have that set to true. World home permissions. Okay, set multiple home. This one's interesting. If you want to allow people to have multiple homes, it's fine. I do that, and I think it's kind of cool. But you have to give them the permission as well. Okay, plus any basic default like permission they might need. So they have to have like essentials set home multiple, and then they have to have if they want VIP or staff or whatever you decide to call it, because you can change the name here if you want to. So it's all very configurable. You can change it up how you might need it, the way you want your server to run. TPA cancel the accept. So if somebody doesn't accept a teleport request after a certain time, it stops. You got starting balance. I like to give my players at least like $100 to start with. So max money. Yeah, that's probably good where it is. Minimum money. I usually set minimum money to 0 so people don't end up in the hole and get angry. So this means that if this one right here, if you're wondering, it means that if they don't have a permission for a certain plugin, they're not going to see that help section for that plugin when they look for it. Chat. If you're using Essentials Chat, I believe this should work with Essentials Chat. This will define how far a player's voice travels in blocks. So if you only want them to be able to hear for about 100 blocks, you put in 100 and that's it. Yeah, that can be a useful thing if you have a really large server, or you want something that's a little more difficult. You want people to wander out in their own areas and not have to listen to the other people and be bothered by them. It could be really useful for all kinds of reasons, and then also it could cause a lot of players to get annoyed. Here's your formatting for chat. I will go further into chat formatting at some point. It's a little tricky with the different things you can put in, like group, world name and group, and these are different things that are going to show up in the chat, and then you can format them in different ways to be different colors or have different amount of spaces between them and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's a lot better than the default Minecraft chat as far as how it looks. So, and you can have fun changing the colors around and giving different groups different colors, color coordinate them. Here's our Essentials Protect stuff. As long as you have Essentials Protect in, you can do the following things. You can stop lava flow, water flow, water bucket flow, fire spread. Turning fire spread and lava fire spread off, as they do by default, are pretty good ideas. You may want to turn off TNT explosion, or there are other things I will show you that can prevent block damage and forms of grief. I'm going to do a whole episode about how to prevent grief on your server. But just trying to get through the rest of this config file, it is absolutely huge. But you have all kinds of little settings here, and you may want to look at some of the ones about explosions, block damage, and fire and stuff, because those can be pretty annoying unless you want a server where there's a certain amount of damage happening. Alright, you can stop individual spawns here if you like, These may be counteracted later if you have a different plugin that changes spawns for animal spawns. But like if you don't like any of these, or you just wanted zombies, you put that as the only one false and everything else true, and it should work. Max height for creeper. Oh, the max height, it should explode. Fall damage disabled. Yeah, you probably don't want to turn that off. PvP. This is something. This is not straight up PvP. This is, let's see. Users with Essentials Protect PvP permission will still be able to attack each other if this is set to true. Okay, so if you said this is true, no one will be able to fight each other, except if they have that permission there. Apparently. Drowning damage, suffocation damage, lava damage, projectiles, fire damage. Again, that's not necessarily fire damage to your world, that's fire damage to the players. So, yeah. Alright. Anti-build, let's see. If you set this to false, Essentials anti-build will never prevent you from building. So if you have problems with people not being able to build, you may want to look at this and put it to false. Okay, you guys can look through this and figure it out on your own, because I don't use that much. I don't even know if I have it in my server. And here is your welcome message for new players. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Whew. Big old config file. Anything I didn't go over really well, again, there's pretty nice little instructions there. Alright, here's your worth file. This is if you do want to change the prices of things on your server, which I can tell you is not really fun to do. You can do that. Their prices are not great, although it looks like they may have updated them a little bit. They look a little more varied now. I used to see that a lot of them were just 60, 60, 60, and it looks like they've actually gone and spent some time working on that. So probably just want to go ahead and use theirs, unless you are the obsessive compulsive type, because this is a lot of work here, trying to figure out prices for everything and make sure that they're all even and good. It's beyond me, out of my yeah, it's it's beyond my skill level. I'm just not willing to put the time or effort into doing that. So God bless any of you who do. And I said God bless, which I hardly ever say because I am an atheist, but anyway. That's the config. It's a massive config. Don't let it overwhelm you. There are great instructions in here, and anything you don't completely understand, you can probably Google more info on. This is going to give you a lot of the basics you need to run a server. The other thing that I'm going to show you probably on the next video is that there is an additional Essentials plugin called Essentials Group Manager, which is a really great permissions plugin that we're going to get into next time to show you how to set up your permissions and give other players access to just the things you want them to be able to use. He's got his own tutorial here you can watch. In fact, before I leave, I want to show you, go to the Essentials wiki page. Wait, no, that's not what we want. We want command reference. Here's your command reference. This is really great. They have this set up. It points out which ones are considered cheats, like stuff like fly. And when you hit plus, it gives you the information, including your permission right there, which makes it really easy to copy and then paste it when you go to your game to try to put your permissions into the game. And it's got a bunch of different ones. This allows you to fly, this allows you to toggle whether other people fly, and all kinds of cool stuff. So that is very, very useful, and it's right there. And I'm not going to go through every command with you. I think I pretty much showed you exactly how you do all of that, and again, there's great documentation on this site. I just want to let all of you know that Essentials is probably one of the best plugins that I have in my server. I don't run my server without it. So go ahead and get Essentials, play around with it. If you don't like it, you may want to check out Command Book or one of the other collection of commands in a plugin, and see which one works best for you. And thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.